Alright, good morning. We're here today at Ace Guru Learning Center and seated right beside me is the one and only Miss Liz Huang. Alright, thank you for joining the interview today. First and foremost, can we tell all our viewers out there what your learning philosophy is all about and what's in store for all the students that you teach?
Good morning everyone, I'm Liz. I am the educational consultant at Ace Guru Learning Center. I started this center around 9 years ago with the hope of teaching students the right skill, the right technique on how to conquer learning difficulties in schools. And over here at Ace Guru, we actually teach them how to fish instead of giving them the fish. That's our philosophy.
Absolutely. So if you believe in education, Ace Guru Learning Center is your answer. Okay, so Liz, in your professional opinion, how do you feel students best absorb and retain knowledge?
I think students best retain and absorb knowledge when they are in a conducive environment, when they are aware of the learning focus and what they are going to learn for the particular lesson itself. So for students who are, normally at the beginning of the lesson, our teacher will tell them that what's our learning focus for that particular lesson, and then you'll be given clear instructions, examples on what I'm going to do, and subsequently the students will attend bite-sized assessment, which actually SAP assessment book are actually ideal for.
Indeed, and as we know, the educational landscape is constantly evolving and changing, and so has teaching strategies. Alright, so speaking about a constantly changing educational environment, what would you say are the learning constraints that students face these days? And for that matter, as a teacher, what challenges do you face?
I think the main challenge students face now is the time constraint. They are very occupied with various activities in school, and some of them have to stay back for remedial supplementary after the normal curriculum. So what we need to do is to make sure that their time spent at the tuition center is productive and concise. So what we plan to do for them is we give them bite-sized assessment, which SAP assessment book caters for, so that the students can actually complete a certain skill set within the time given to them. And at the end of the lesson, they are able to get the timely feedback from the teacher on what they could have done better, what they have learned. And so when the students go home, they actually have a takeaway from the lesson on, okay, today I've learned a specific language skill and I can apply that for my schoolwork when I go back to school.
Absolutely. So it's all about SAP books making the material digestible and accessible to the learner. Okay, so how long and how often have you been using the SAP books?
We have been using this book since the start of the center, and we've been using it for almost 8 years. We use it regularly for our students because we believe in consistent work and practice.
Right. And what about yourself? Did you use the books when you were a student yourself?
Actually, I don't, but I wish I had discovered them earlier when I was a student.
Alright, so amazing discovery over here. As they always say, beyond the four walls of the classroom, curricula speaks on its own. Alright, so which SAP book series would you personally and most highly recommend for your own students?
That's a very good question, Sam. I will actually strongly recommend this book. It's the Learning Plus English Grammar book. Especially I like this part where they learn about the different part of speech. For example, they have these particular examples where they will give very clear examples of very clear rules of the different part of speech, followed by examples, and the students will actually get to do immediate questions based on it. So the students will actually get timely assessment so that they will be able to
practice.
Correct, that's right.
Yes, that's right. And as they say, practice makes perfect. So I think spoken by a true educator herself, what Liz is essentially saying over here is that this book is structured and this book is of useful revision for her own students. We'd like to thank you very sincerely, Liz, for joining us on this interview today. And just before we go, would you have any last message for your viewers out there?
I'd like to give a big shout out to all the parents. If you would like your child to be taught by dedicated teachers and spend their time meaningfully after school, consider Ace Guru Learning Center. Thank you.